Hello, everyone. A very great evening to Mr. Mehan and also to my beloved classmates. So, this is class MGM4136, Group 1, and we are from Group A9, presenting today to you guys the topic of Business Process Outsourcing, BPO. Okay, so as I said, we are from Group 9. These are our members. My name is Philip Neo, 199837, metric number, and my colleagues are Cha Yi Qing, Tan Hui Qin, Cheng Sun Hing, Yap Teng Hui, and also Charles Neo. Okay, next. All right, so today what will you learn from our presentation, which will be highly related to you? Okay, and why should you spend 30 minutes of you sitting before the computer watching our presentation? Okay, so as we said, we are introducing about what's BPO today, and most of the products you are being surrounded with have different parts from various sources. All right, I'll give you some examples later. So as a business leader, you have to get a general idea of what is BPO and the characteristics of it. We will break down every component of BPO and present it in a funnel style. So from the introduction, types of BPO, benefits and advantages of BPO, risks and challenges, service level agreement, future direction, and lastly, as a bonus, what's a BPO guide to stay competitive in the industry field. All right, next. So before that, let's play a fun game. All right. So here's a voting session. So let's just vote the truth. You will remain anonymous. No one will know which one you are voting. Next. All right. So here's the question. During these online classes days, what will you refer to during exams and quizzes if it's in the multiple choice questions format? Okay, so A, Google. Okay, B, check. C, friends, your best friends. All right. Okay, so we will provide the link, the website link in the chat box. Please to go and click on it and vote which one. All right. Okay. So next. Okay, so why we did this? All right, so it's just we want to relate what's BPO to us, the students, right? Okay, so think of it. Okay, we are students, so this is our occupation. Okay, whenever you go to the government offices, we always need to fill out a form, and then says the occupation form. The occupation section. Okay, we will fill out student, right? Okay, so this is counted as part of our business. Okay, exams and quizzes are also part of our business process. So it is counted like our business process. So we outsource, we reach out to third-party platforms to get our desired results, such as Google and Check during exams and quizzes. Okay, so this is just an example, but this could surely relate to the general idea of BPO. So you outsource your process, business process to third-party vendors, third-party platforms, and then you get the results back. You get your desired results back. Okay, so okay, next. Yeah, I believe you guys have a clear idea formulating in your head what is BPO. Okay, so let me explain more in more detail to you. Okay, so what is BPO? BPO is the process of hiring another company to handle business activities for you. It's as simple as that. Okay, okay. So business process outsourcing, as we call BPO, is a matter of subcontracting various business-related operations to third-party vendors. Okay, the services can include payroll, customer services, accounting, and much more. Right? Okay, next. All right. So BPO has its roots in the manufacturing industry first, originally. Okay, with the manufacturers hiring third party to handle unrelated processes. Okay, so it enables the focusing on crucial parts of development. And what does that mean? Okay, let me give you guys an example. So payroll is one task that is routinely handled with BPO. The company needs to issue salary, wages to the employees, right? Okay, so think of it. Instead of paying staff to manage and operate an entire staff, the payroll department, okay, you can choose to outsource to a company that specializes in managing payroll. So, for example, your company specializes in making children's toys, right? Okay, children's toys, children's toy store. Okay, so instead of taking time away from your core business, which is manufacturing and developing toys, more funny toys. Okay, instead of taking that away from this to manage the payroll in house, you could outsource payroll responsibilities to other company. Okay, so by outsourcing, by doing this, you can save money, resources, and also valuable production time. Okay, Next. Okay, so let me give you guys some examples of giants that outsource. Okay, so here's the Google. Okay, outsourcing is not something new that's to Google. Okay, because it sees greater value in outsourcing as it is more cost effective. And the company is now increasingly starting to outsource non-core tasks of its business, such as IT management, software development, and maintenance. Okay, so now here's the next example, Apple. Okay, so Apple's outsourcing strategy is very evident when you read the back of your iPhone. Okay, it says designed by Apple in California, assembled in China, meaning that Apple's products are designed in the US, yet the software and hardware engineering are conducted globally. Okay, so yeah, this is some of the examples of some giants that uses BPO. Okay, and next. All right, here comes the last part of my presentation. What BPO is used for? Okay, so broadly speaking, as you guys can see on the slides, we have back office operations and the front office operations. Okay, so back office of BPO, also referred to as internal business functions, refers to a company contracting its core business operations, such as accounting, payment processing, IT services, all of that. Take the example just now I said, the toy store. So what is the back office internal business functions? Okay, it's manufacturing and producing and developing toys. Okay, so what is the front in contrast? Okay, on the other hand, front office functions, okay, it commonly include customer related services, okay, outside the office, such as technical support, sales, and marketing. Okay, so in broadly speaking, the BPO practices is divided into two main areas, back office and front office functions. Okay, and so here's the end of my presentation. I'll pass on to my colleague. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Cha Yiqing. Now I will going business process outsourcing. Next. Okay, BPO can be categorized into different types based on the service provider's location or the vendor's location and also type of services. So BPO can be categorized into two types here. Next. Alright, so this is the types of BPO based on locations. Okay, for the first one, offshore outsourcing, we can call it as offshoring also. It means that the vendors are located outside of the company's own country. So it will occur when an organization contracts for services provided with a company in a foreign country. For example, a Malaysian company may use an offshore BPO vendor in the China or in the United States or any Europe countries. This is called as offshore outsourcing. Okay, for the second one, nearshore outsourcing, it means that the vendors are located in neighbor country of the company's country. So it will occur when an organization contracts for services provided by company based in neighboring countries. For example, in Malaysia, a BPO in Singapore or in Thailand or in Indonesia is considered a nearshore vendor because these countries are the neighbor countries of Malaysia. Then for the third one, onshore outsourcing, we can call it as domestic outsourcing also. It means that the vendors operate within the same country as the contractor. No matter they are located in a different city or state, it is considered as onshore outsourcing as long as they are in the same country. For example, a Selangor company use an onshore BPO vendor in Johor or in Perak or in Pahang. This is called as onshore outsourcing. Okay, next. Okay, so if you feel like blur or not clear about what I say just now, please take a look on this slide. Okay, we can see the gray color one. This is United States. So if a company in the United States use a vendor in United States also, this is called as onshore outsourcing. For example, if a company in Washington could use an onshore outsourcing vendor located in Washington also, or in the other states of United States, such as Alabama, this is called as onshore outsourcing. All right, we look at the yellow color one. If a company in United States use a of we look at the blue color from the offshore outsourcing for the United States. All right, next. Okay, so this is the types of BPO based on the services. For the first one, knowledge process outsourcing, KPO. So it means that the service provider is hired for its capacity and expertise to perform a particular business process or function. And KPO requires specialized knowledge people. So they will hire people who are competent in a specific field. Okay, then for the second one, legal process outsourcing, LPO. It's a type of KPO. As the name stated, it's specific to legal services. LPO firms will obtain legal support services from an outside law firm to draft their patent applications and legal agreements or perform legal research to offering advice. For example, in-house legal departments will usually retain LPO service. Okay, then for the last one, research process outsourcing, RPO. It's also another type of KPO, but it's specialized in research and analysis function. Okay, so basically, the biotech companies, investment firms, and marketing agencies are among the types of organizations that will engage in RPO for services. Okay, so this is the introduction for the types of BPO based on locations and services. Now I will pass to the next presenter, Hui Qin.
Hi everyone, my name is Tan Hui Qin, and now I'm going to continue on benefits and advantages of BPO. So the first benefits next. The first benefit will be reduction in cost and time. Outsourcing some of the business processes helps organizations to cut down on costs for in-house labor, particularly for recruiting, staffing, and training, and for the workspace to accommodate local employees. And also, an outsourcing company physically located in a developing country often leverages lower cost labor markets. This is because they are available at low wages, which cost less. And in terms of saving time, employers often outsource processes because BPO providers, which is the third party provider, can get the job done in the shortest time frame with their own equipment. So I'll give one example here. Apple, as mentioned earlier in the introduction, if you look at the back of your Apple product, iPhone, you'll see assembled in China. If you don't have, you can look at the slides. Apple has chosen to outsource all of its production overseas, specifically to China, because China provides a lower cost labor market and can manufacture the most number of Apple products within the shortest amount of time. Next. The second benefits would be access to innovative technological resources. BPO offers businesses access to technological resources that they might not otherwise have exposure to. Because BPO providers are more likely to know about advances and innovations happening in their specialized area, and they are more likely to invest in the new developments that can improve the speed, the cost, and the quality of work, which at last it will benefit the organizations. For example, Alibaba. In the early days, Alibaba outsourced its website design and development work to web developer in the US. At that time, development talent in China was in short supply, while developers in the US had the skills or innovations Alibaba needed. And also, Alibaba had to find workarounds and viable ways to grow his company, overcoming all Chinese internet restrictions. So by working with the outsourcer, Alibaba able to build sustainable infrastructure for its business growth that brought towards today's success. Next. The third benefits of BPO would be availability of skilled manpower. A business may want to outsource a task when it requires skill expertise, because skilled manpower can support the business process as they can perform better and more efficiently, and the company no longer need to invest in recruiting and training expensive resources, human resources, for their business. So, if a company outsources their supply chain management, their supply chain will be handled by skilled supply chain managers who are experts in this particular field. So same goes for IT services, HR, legal counseling, accounting, or payroll. Next. The fourth benefits of BPO would be ability to focus on core functions and improve support. BPO enables organizations to outsource those processes that are not core to their business. Therefore, the company will have greater operational flexibility to concentrate upon core business area because they know outsourced company can provide the best performance for its non-core processes. So, a company can reallocate time and resources to core competencies in order to boost the company competitive advantage. Ultimately, the company can enjoy improved customer satisfaction and increase profits. For example, here, Google outsource its non-core projects like IT management to some IT services firms in order to focus on its core business. Overall, an organization can spend more time building the company's right strategy rather than worrying about the non-core functions. If the non-core functions goes well, it could support an on overall business performance. Next. The last benefits of BPO would be expanded business coverage. As we know, borders can no longer confine businesses. Even small companies can operate in multiple countries scattered across the globe. This is because outsourced providers can expand the hours or geographical reach of a client company. In terms of time, outsourcing enables a company to run their business 24/7. I'll give an example here. And organizations that wants to have a 24/7 call center operations may be able to more quickly or more efficiently provide that capability by contracting with a partner which has existing around the clock capabilities, which is on a different time zone, perhaps even in multiple geographical locations. Outsourcing also allows greater geographical reach in which if a US company wanted to enter into a new market in Japan, they are unlikely to know how the market in that specific country works. So instead, it's easier to outsource, which is to find a local partner company with a native workforce that have the knowledge of the language and culture on their side to carry out the works effectively. So that's all with the benefits of BPO. Now I'd like to pass it to the next presenter, Cheng Soon Heng.
All right, thank you, Wei Ching. Now I will present my part, which is the risk and challenge of business process outsourcing. Okay, let me introduce myself. I am Cheng Soon Hing. You guys can address me as Soon Hing. All right. Why the first challenge and risk for the BPO is security risk. Why security risk? Because the security risk will be happen because the BPOs will be done. BPO company will share the information with their outsourcing partner. That means the client company will share the information. So always the security risk will happen because the unrestricted use of paper and electronic device such as pen drive, cell phone memory, like that. All of these things will store the sensitive information that will become the secret agent weapon for, and it will affect the business of the company. Okay, another one is unauthorized access to data stored in CMS. Okay, what is CMS? CMS is a call monitoring system that will detect the activities being done on the screen during the call with the customer. That means the secret agent, if want to steal the information, they can use hack in through this CMS, and this will cause the company affected and the unsecure of the information of the customer. And the last one is lack of security awareness, because very often the agent of the BPO will let their workstation unattended or leave the piece of the information of customer at the office, and it will expose to others. It becomes a big security risk for the company and make this also the security risk will be affected. Next. Okay, the second one is unanticipated and higher cost and hands-on. The first one is unforeseen cost. Why unforeseen cost? Because company always underestimate the running cost of the business, such as service upgrade, currency fluctuation, and the internal transition. All of these cost is the hidden cost and always cost the company profit, lower down the profit and affect the profit of the company. And second one is work-life balance. Work-life balance is means that most of the BPO function in a client company will require the agent to work with them. But if the company of the China hire the BPO company, that means the BPO company in the India, for example, if in India they need to work with the same time with the China. This will make the because of the barrier of time zone always make the work will be harder and increase the time and indirectly waste the time and cost. Next. The third one is relationship challenges and communication problem. Due to the different life and culture background of the company and the BPO company, there will a lot of language barrier occur. For example, the communication with the India boss and the Malaysia boss, the different will be the communication and slang with the different. So if different slang maybe will bring up the different meanings and different opinions. Sometimes it will be different perception also. The last is communication through the text message. Why I say like this? According to an IT network engineer, their work often require them to work outside and which require communicate through the text. This means they often can't understanding the perception and desire motive of their partner. That means the original company. So always will reach the misunderstanding result and cause the project failure. Okay. Next. Lastly, over dependence on the external provider, which also foreign company. Because the first reason is political instability. You know that the country will be invaded by other country. That means you don't know next what will happen to the country next. So it's essential that business consider the political stability of a country if hire the BPO. Political instability will affect the efficiency and freedom to perform the properly business and lost identity of organization. Why lost losing the identity of the organization? Because if the authority given to the BPO company, the client company will lose all the identity and loss of control because of giving too much the authority to the outsourcing partner, and it will cause the delay of productivity and lead to the failure of the business. Okay, that's all from me. So I will pass my part, the next part to my colleague, Teng Hui. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you to Sun Hing. So now we talk about the service level agreement. Next. So service level agreement is a structural agreement about the service between the service provider and the customer. So it's legal and it is formal and or it can be informal contract, and it exists as physical or electronic document. So next. So there is three types of service level agreement. The first one is customer-based SLA, service-based SLA, and the third one is multi-level SLA. So let us talk about the first one, the customer-based SLA. Customer-based SLA is an agreement with only one customer, but it covers several service which used by the customer. For example, let us think about our relationship with our telecom operator. We use their voice service, SMS service, data service, but we only have one contract with them, right? So this is called customer-based SLA. Another one, the service-based SLA is only cover one service, but it is allowed, it's valid for all customers. For example, there is a company A, okay? So company A is a service provider. Now there is two customer B and C. They want to use the same service provided by customer A, company A. So now the same SLA is valid between the company A and customer B and C because since it is a service-based SLA. So another one, we move to multi-level SLA. So multi-level SLA is a agreement which is customized according to the needs of the end user company. Okay, so there is three levels: the corporate level SLA, customer level SLA, and service level SLA. So based on the slide, we can see that. So the corporate level SLA is a corporate which have a agreement with the end user company, which is customer A and customer B. There corporate gives the permission to the customer A and B to allow them to add on some condition into the same system to create a more suitable service. So when the corporate level SLA is signed, so customer A and B can add on some condition in the same system and provide the customer level SLA and service level SLA to the market. Okay, so next. So why do we need a SLA? Okay, so SLA put all the information and the metrics, the expectation, and both party responsibility in the one single document, so that it very clearly set out all the expectation, all the responsibility of them. So when there is a mistake of the service come out, no one can bear for ignorance. Okay, so it ensures that both parties have the same understanding of requirements, and it ensures the minimum level of service performance to protect both parties in the agreement. So next. So let us see some of the elements in the SLA. So in a SLA, there should be have a objective, the scope of service, both party responsibility, the performance metrics, and the penalties for contract breach. Okay, so next. That's end all for SLA. Now we go to future direction of BPO. Next. The future direction of BPO is based on two sectors. The first one is RPA, another one is AI. RPA is robotic process automation, and AI is artificial intelligence. Next. So what is RPA? Actually, RPA is a form of process automation technology based on the concept of software robot or AI worker. So based on the story, we know that it's like a job, but it's real. Okay, so it's the boss buy a robot to replace the human worker. Yeah, so it made the business process more smooth and more effective. Okay, next. What is AI? AI actually is a simulation of human intelligence in a machine, okay, and to be programmed to think like humans and copy our action. Yes, this is AI. Next. So what is the benefit of RPA and AI to BPO? Okay, as we know, most of the business of BPO industry is outside of their country, offshore, right? So AI data management is very, very important to BPO industry. Okay, because we need to arrange a lot of data management. When we using the AI software to manage the data, it will reduce the stress and the cost of the management. And another one, it also can maintain the quality of the work. Next, uh, ah, okay, RPA and AI will also reduce the human error and increase the customer experience. So, for example, we know that some of the business we see for the slide, they already using the automatic reply and the AI reply to make sure that the customer can immediately at a short time to get the response from the company. So the customer will satisfy and will increase their experience. Next. So, however, there is a lot of articles show that the game is changing. Okay, they say the robot, because of RPA, because of AI, the robots will take over a lot of jobs, and the automation that and the RPA will become a threat to the outsourcing, right? Next, but however, our group we found out the report next. Based on our research, the research for the IG Tech thought, okay, there is 59% enterprise recognize that the low cutting benefit offered by outsourcing as a major advantage, and almost 80% of enterprise for well trust and outsourcing company, and almost they have 65 enterprise is will think that they will make more investment in the future, and there are at least 18% saving by using outsourcing. So next, so at the end, I want to say that we should not see RPA and AI as a job taker of BPO, but it can be a next upgrade of the BPO industry. Just like video does not kill the audio, but it add on another way consumer consume the content. So next, that's all for me. I will pass out to my next friend. Yeah, Charles.
Okay, so hello everyone. So I'm Charles, and I will present the last part, which is the BPO guide to stay competitive. Okay, so currently, many large BPOs are faced with the difficulty of differentiating themselves from the competition. So the big question is, how can large BPO break away from the cycle of decreasing margin, and what is the guide for BPO to stay competitive? So there have 3 guides for BPO to stay competitive. So the first one is rethinking the pricing of a customer experience. So BPO can find creative ways to structure their fee to gain competitive advantage. And like when considering 2 vendors at equal cost, the ability to deliver an improved customer experience in given situations will have a significant impact will have a significant impact on an enterprise decision. So BPO that can provide enhanced first call resolution, reduce truck rolls, repeat calls, and reduce average handling times have a really clear advantage. So the second guide for BPO to stay competitive is companies should try to consolidate and centralize their BPO efforts. So by doing it, the company will be easy to fragment and displace important people, processes, and tools to outsource services in order to achieve the lowest possible cost. And besides, the company or organization should centralize and consolidate the support services to be able to fully understand the increased efficiency and quality and decrease costs. And this concept also allows company to more truthfully maintain the streamlined business processes, which is the key for the bottom line. And thus it increase efficiency and quality of the company or the organization. Okay, so the last guide for BPO to stay competitive is companies should increase the level of performance of staff and employees. The most important and essential step is identifying the roles and responsibilities of each resource, as well as the skill requirements of employees. So I will give an example here. If a hotel chain decides to outsource call center services as it expands globally, it may require their employees to be multilingual to work with customers all around the world. So the outsourcing partner should always be investing in continuous training for its employees. The more comprehensive the training, the more consistent the performance of employees, and thus the customer satisfaction will increase. Okay, so for the conclusion of our presentation, BPO enables business owners to reduce the burden of work and concentrate on other core aspects. And although there are many risks and challenges, So the BPO is still the main business activities, which will surely help to grow the organization's business in many ways, as they have many advantages and benefits for the organization. So that's all for our presentation. On behalf of the team, I would like to thank you everyone for your attention and for your listening. Okay, so thank you very much and have a nice day.